mature skin ladies. I have some new releases from Seint for you and some mature skin tips. This brush right here, just wait till I show you what it can do. It's so good. My name is Sonia, and I am over 50. I'm going to be 56 in October. I don't know what is happening, but I'm going to be 56. I love all things skincare, makeup, fashion, hair, all those things related. They're related together. I'm a cosmetologist. I've been a cosmetologist since I've been 19 years old. And I love coming here and sharing with you what I learned because, guys, when you get those late 40s, things happen to the skin that you had no idea were going to happen. And I have lots of things to help you with that. I have so many tips with makeup that it just turns everything that we know upside down, which is good because our lives are kind of turning upside down. Hi, Cynthia. Our lives are turning upside down with so many different things, and changing our makeup is just going to make us all feel better. So first and foremost, I'm just going to tell you all the new releases, and then I'm just going to show you ones that I had picked out specifically for us because it's so good. This brush is a Pilot brush. It is in black, and I love the black brushes. I feel like the bristles are even better than before. And this brush here, I'm going to do my entire face, eyes and all with this brush. So it pops apart. It's going to make a lot of noise. It's going to pop apart. And you go like that, okay? So I can do my eyes, my under eyes, all the things. And it is so good. I do my foundation, my bronzer, contour, blush. Do I do anything else? And then the other ones, I do my eyes, my under eyes, everything with this one single brush. Honestly, now I can legitimately pack this with my one compact and go. It's so good. So this is one of the new palettes that's getting released, that is released today by Seint, the 22nd. And these here, they were so popular. This is a throwback. It was one of my faves. And then these were so popular, they brought them back. And they come in all different sizes, all the way from a 4 up to a 27. Now these other ones do come in the 4 quads. Okay, the 4 quads are so good. And then we have not just lip pencils. I keep saying that. Crayons. These crayons are amazing. I have hooded eyes. I'm going to show you. I'm going to put liner on my hooded eyes. And I'm going to show you, they don't transfer. The silk pencil is you don't like, see what I'm saying? It's there to stay. You take it off with either micellar water or when you cleanse your face, double cleanse at night with oil, you can get it off with that. Those are amazing, but even the satins, we have 7 silks and 6 satins. The satins don't transfer either to my lid. And look, see, mine hangs right over on top of my lashes. So for legit, for real, I have not had it transfer yet, either one, the silk or the satin. If you want something to definitely stay, you get the silk. If you want something that's a little bit more blendable, you can use it as a contour, a bronzer, or an eyeshadow. You're going to want to get the satin. All right, then we have gelatos. The name alone. The name alone just makes me want to buy them. Let me see here. Right here, I can't even remember how many we have, 9 maybe, gelatos. What I love about these is the variety of colors that they've given us. They've given us cool colors, muted colors, bold colors, but from every color that you would wear in lip and cheek, they have them. So they've got your reds, they've got your corals, we have your warm pinks, we have your cool pinks, we have a nudish brown, you kind of have that raisin color. And what they are, I want to get out the one that I'm going to use today. I'm going to use, I keep forgetting, you got to give me just a little bit to memorize these names. Sugar Plum, because I'm afraid y'all are going to be scared of that one, and I don't want you to be. But how you use them is they're just simply a click up. Okay, they don't click down, but they do click up. And they're just a really glossy. They have great ingredients to help your lips to be hydrated. They haven't bled on me, so if that's another concern of yours, having the lines in our lips. But I'm going to tell you one that I think is going to be the top seller. Prediction of 2025. This is September 22nd. I think Coco Marrow is going to be the top seller in the gelatos. It is the prettiest muted pink. I feel like it's a cool pink, and it's so incredibly pretty, especially with one of these liners. I loved pepper with it or chai. And I think this is going to be a top seller, but I'm going to wipe that. Well, I can leave it on until I go into the next day. So let's get busy. I'm going to take out my one palette, my new little, I don't even know what they call this, marble palette. And we're going to flip it down into the face colors. And I'm going to do my eyes last. So this brush has like an oblong end here. Okay. It's kind of dense. Okay. It looks a lot. It's basically the 3D brush. And then we have a pointed end. I love this pointed end for even applying my foundation. Hey, Mary. Oh, the third cannot come soon enough, right? Okay, so this here is a cream-based makeup. This makeup I found when I was 50 in 2020. Was I 50 or 49? I was having a lot of trouble with my makeup. And this palette was the palette that I found, and I never looked back. I got it. I put it on. The concept is, I just can't even. I literally never looked for makeup after that. And prior to that, I was in the stores all the time. I was in all the big department stores. I was online. I was in everywhere. Walmart, Target, Kohl's, Ulta, Sephora. I was in all of them trying all the things. And I even had one of those subscriptions that came monthly to try to get makeup that worked, and literally did not. So hi guys, if you are here and you're watching, I always like a, hey, what's up? Tell me where you're from. You can even tell me your age. That would be great. I'm 55, 56, going to be in October. So let me show you what I'm going to do. Okay, I have two main foundation shades. I take a darker shade and put it in, like, honestly, my skincare has been doing so well. I barely have pink areas anymore. I have a little bit of pink here and here, under my nose and on my chin. Okay. So I put darker shade there, and I like to take the rounded end, but you can take the flat end. Just be careful. This brush is dense. So you need to be careful with how much you pick up. So I'm going to take and I'm going to put it on my pink here. And did you see how that disappeared and how it's blending in so pretty? And that's the color Mango, is the color that I'm using. But what I love about that is it doesn't look textured, and it doesn't make my skin look dry and like I have a bunch of makeup on. So you saw what that did. Okay, that's Mango. And I just put it on my cheeks. Okay, I put on my cheeks, my nose, and my chin. And it gives me buildable coverage. It has a radiant, it has more of a dewy finish. This is more of a dewy finish. Cream makeup is not like anything you've ever used before. Oh, I hear you. I don't know what your name is because of what your username is on Instagram. She says, I have trouble finding what colors to use. Amen, sister. I color match you. So DM me and I will. Oh, I was going to write that in here and pin it to the top. Hang on. I'm going to write in here a number, and I'm going to pin it, and you can comment match to me or match me, and then we can, I will match you to your shade. Now let me pin it. Pin the comment. Okay, that is my business line. You take that number right there, and you can text me, and you can be like, I want a color match. Just send me your name, because I don't get your name when you text me. All right, so I've got that coverage that I want on those areas. So I'm going to flip this brush over, and I'm really lightly. I don't like using a lot of foundation, because as a mature lady, one of my very biggest tips to you is going to be use less makeup, but you don't have to compromise your look, okay? So I'm going to tap it into my next shade, which is Hazel. And I'm not going to put much on, like I said. I'm simply going to go around where I put that other makeup. I got a little bit of a red mark here. So I'll flip over on my pointed end there. And I got to get those nose holes. A lot of you guys, when I work with my customers, okay? I love working with my customers. And when you get your makeup and you'll send me a picture with your makeup on, and one of the places that we often miss is right here. Get those nose holes, plus we touch our noses a lot, cover that up. Yes, Mary loves Saint. Yes. Hey, hi Janine. This is the new brush. Yes. Okay. So you just told me to help you with the colors. You're gonna have to DM me because unfortunately Instagram deletes all the messages. So if anyone wants a color match, I pinned my phone number or DM me after, which means direct message me within Instagram and say, I need help, and I'll give you my link, and then you can use it to get a color match. Which I could have put that in there too. All right, this is the new brush, the Pilot, and I'll pull it apart for you, Janine. It is 4-in-1, but we're gonna just keep going along with what we're doing. So you can also contour. I actually didn't even put a contour in here. So let's grab a contour, and you can contour with this brush. Now I would probably use the pointed ends to put contour on. People. Where's my contour? Okay, we'll just oh, there it is. Contour with my, okay. So I'm going to take this pointed end. I am going to squeeze it a little bit, okay? Contour for us, we need to get it high, and you need to get it up. And don't come any further than the corner of that eye right there, okay? What you're trying to do, you're chiseling out your bones. That's all you're doing. So for me, I don't do a lot of contouring. I have a lot of shadows on my face. I do contour maybe my cheeks and maybe my jowls here just a little bit, okay? And then, you could even do your nose a little bit. That's about all I do. I do a lot of reverse contouring with a brightener, and I'll show you that here in a little bit. So take this and just sweep it up like you would with anything else. And you can also do this end. And you could tap it. Just make sure you sweep it up. We want it up, 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 up. You don't want it too low, but with creams, we can fix it even if you make a mistake, which I love. Okay, so we've got the contour there. We can take that contour and we can put it up here along our hairline, like so. This is the pointed end again. You can do either end. I find either end good. But this one, I don't know. I keep going to the pointed end, which is so weird. I wouldn't think that I would have. Okay, so we contoured, and now I'm going to do bronzer. Bronzer is another way for us mature ladies to get dimension, but I feel like it's a little easier for us. Most of us never contoured. I didn't contour until I was 50. Never had I contoured. But I love that this is a cream because it's so forgivable. So now we're going to move on to bronzer. Bronzer is where the sun hits you, and you can just kind of do it however you want. I like adding it to my forehead like so. Now I'm onto this fluffier end, onto my forehead, and then onto our cheeks. Now, something that I'm going to bring up that I don't think a lot of us think about is a lot of us have a lot of sun damage on our chests. Okay, and we have menopausal hormonal stuff going on. And when we have that, we get this. Okay, if you see this, I'm not always this red. When I go live, I turn more red. I don't know why, but my chest is, it has sun damage, and it tends to be a lot of flushing from here to here, and it just depends. It'll go away and it'll come back. I'm not hot flashing. I'm on hormones. So yes, Mary, hi Philippines. What is going on? I have friends from the Philippines. Can you believe that? Bronzer is going to help connect your face to your chest if you have this issue. If you have your normal foundation on, you can get a floating head. So by using bronzer like so, I'm doing it on the top of my cheekbones. I'm just kind of tapping. I have to tap because my skin moves. And on here, okay, see how it's connecting everything? And I don't have a disconnect because remember 7th grade? Do you remember 7th grade when we took the bottle of foundation and we stopped right here? And then we had orange faces, and it's a fact. It just is what it is. Or then we tried to bring it all the way down our necks. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to wear less makeup on our faces. We're not even, maybe even none right in here. And then we're going to bring some bronzer and some color to our face to blend it in with it so we don't get a floating head. Hey, Greece. Oh my gosh, I was just to Greece. I was not to the Philippines, though. I was just to Greece last October. I was in Athens. It was amazing. Amazing. Although I was so jet lagged, I thought I was going to die. but it was truly amazing. Okay, I'm going to pull this brush apart and I'm going to show you on the under eyes. I don't know which one's which. Okay, so this one here is this smaller end. Okay, we're going to take this smaller end and we're going to color correct on my eyes. Another thing for mature ladies is that oftentimes we have blue or like that really brown that we see right here on our under eyes. Skincare, you need good skincare, but you need to color correct it, not necessarily conceal it. No light on the under eyes anymore. Hear me say this. No light concealer or foundation goes on your under eyes if you have any wrinkle crinkles like I do. If you don't have any wrinkle crinkles and no bags, you can do it. If you do, you cannot use light on your under eyes. I still get people that'll be like, well, I'm sticking candlelit there. And I'm like, no. Because what happens is it makes it look dry and crackled and it's just not beneficial. Okay, so I'm going to actually take Frenchie as a color correcting shade for my under eye darkness. It doesn't work for everyone, but it works for a lot of people. And I'm going to put it on my blue. I don't have a lot of darkness on my under eyes, but I'm going to take this dense end of this brush and I am going to, Janine, you're going to love this brush. I'm telling you. Okay. And I've got a little bit of purple. Peach doesn't work for purple, but I'm going to put something else there. Okay. I'm going to take this and now I'm going to take it into my main shade and I'm going to tap just a tiny bit over top my color corrector shade. Now, do you see me when I'm putting this on? We get in these habits of when we're young and we take, hang on, I don't really have an example. Let's pretend this is a concealer and we go like this and we go whoop, whoop, even though we don't need it. Most people only have under eye darkness right in here. That's the only place you need the makeup because that's going to really help you to wear less makeup. Yes, Janine, this is the brush for you. Okay, so I'm going to flip this over. Okay, I'm going to make sure I don't have any eyeshadow on here. I'm going to tap into my Mango and bronzer, and I'm just going to darken my under eyes just a little bit here. Because next to under eye darkness is usually really light under eyes. And by darkening the under eye, darkening the bag, it's going to recede it back and it's going to help disguise the under eye darkness. You got to think backwards. Remember I said we're going to turn our makeup upside down? That's how we turn the makeup upside down. What we've been doing, what we've been taught worked until we hit about 42. And then little did we know, everything was going to break loose. Okay, so we're going to do that here. And we're always going to take our fingers and we're going to tap off any excess because we don't want too much makeup on the under eyes. Because they move. Because you smile. I know you smile. Okay, and then we wrinkle, crinkle, we squeeze it, and then we get stuff that we don't want there. Okay, so we are color corrected, we've bronzed, and then we're going to put on blush. This is our new pH balance, is that what they call it? Lip Flush Blackberry. Look at it, okay? It's going to turn whatever color for you that it should turn depending on your pH and the hydration of your skin. Okay, it needs water. Okay, so we have water in our skin, but the pH balance of you're going to turn maybe a little bit different. But I do feel like on most that I've seen, it's a purpley hue. Okay, you might go more pink, you might go more purple. Well, let's just see what it does on me. So I'm going to stick it on my finger and it's a gloss, but I want you to know it doesn't feel quite as glossy as our other glosses. Okay, I'm going to take it and if you want to watch it turn like so. And now I'm going to take my brush. I like to turn it oblong. I have little cheekbones and I like to just tap it around. And then I typically wear about 2 layers of this. Okay. And I'll just let it sit. Now I did put it over bronzer too. So I always put bronzer on my cheeks. Okay. So now let's go in and take a little bit more and I'm going to tap it on like so. And then I'm going to bring just a little bit forward to the apple of my cheeks. Okay, so that's the Blackberry Lip Flush. And do you want to see it on my lips? Let's see it. So I had Cocoa Marrow on, which I am predicting is going to be our bestseller gelato. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before, but don't tell my husband. Okay, so I'm going to take the I kind of put lip gloss on like a 2-year-old, so I try to hurry. Okay, so that's basically one layer. Let's let it set for just a minute. See it turn. It's like getting a little bit darker, a little bit darker, a little bit darker. Now I'm going to put a second layer on. Woo! I love it. I love 2 layers. I love the 2 layers. That's where I land every single time, even on the cheeks, is always 2 layers. So you can make it darker. Let it set, kind of, you know, vibe with the pH, and then you can even add more. It does stain your lips just a little bit as long as you don't have something underneath it, as long as your lips are clean. I found that it stains just a fuzz. Okay, so let's take this, and I'm not going to brighten until the end, which is I call reverse contour also, but let's flip this up here, and let's take this brush apart, okay? And let's do eyeshadow. I'm going to use the fluffy end for my entire eyes, and I'm going to use Pup, Lullaby, and Cocoa, and this is a color changing tile. These are all removable, magnetic, so if you aren't familiar with Seint, your mind was just blown. Admit it. Admit it. Okay, so I'm going to take Pup, and I'm going to put it on here. I have fake eyelashes on, if you guys didn't know. I have eye primer on, and my brows are done. Always do your brows. Always, 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 and always wear eye primer. I think you can go to my profile, and if you click on my link tree thing there, it says like milkshake or whatever, you can find my Amazon storefront to find my eye primer. I think it's under beauty tools, but I use Urban Decay eyeshadow primer, potion the color Eden most of the time. Okay. And then that's the base color on my mobile lid, and I'm going to go darker, a medium shade. It's almost gone. I need to order more. Lullaby, it's a beautiful mauve color. Anyone in the whole wide world can wear it. I don't know why you couldn't, no matter what you are. So we're going to take that and we're going to put it above my crease, like so. This is where your hooded eyes are going to be able to get some dimension. And we need dimension. We have, as mature ladies, we have a lot of dimension, but it's in the wrong places. We have jowls. See, here's dimension. Here's some dimension. You see what I'm saying? So we need to create dimension in the right places. I have no brow bone. So you see I had to go out a little bit here. I have no brow bone. So I have to kind of make a new crease is really what I'm doing, essentially. So we're going to go out just a little bit here towards the tail of my brow, above my crease, swoop it. Again, this is the Pilot brush. Just pulled it apart. A little bit in here. Okay. And then we're just going to assess. We're going to kind of look and we're going to be like, okay, my skin moves and this side always does something weird. Okay, we're going to look at it and it's going to be like, okay, how are we doing here? I think we're doing pretty good. Hang on. I'm going to add a little bit more right on in my crease. Like so. And then we're going to sit back and we're going to be like, I like it. And then I am going to add a little bit of this color Cocoa. And it really is just the color of Cocoa. These are all mattes, nothing fancy. I'm not doing anything too fancy. I'm going to tap just a little bit here on the outside, all with the fluffy end of this brush. If you're familiar with Seint and you've been using Seint and you have their eyeshadow brush, I feel like this fluffy end is denser than the fluffy end of the eyeshadow brush. Okay. If you guys are just getting on here, I pinned a comment. It is a phone number that if you have any questions or you want to get a color match, you can tell me in that phone number. Okay. That was Cocoa. Now I'm going to flip this brush over and go to the dense end. And I'm going to take, I didn't put it in here. I'm going to take Cupcake and I'm just going to do a little bit of fine tuning. Okay. Right directly under my brow. I'm going to take this dense end of this Pilot brush and we're just going to put a little bit underneath the brow. And then we're going to just squiggle a little bit in here. It's so dense that I find it works really well with this because it's not overly small. And at first I thought, uh-oh, how's this going to work? It actually works. I don't have to have a really tiny brush. I don't have to worry about not pushing very hard, but I feel like it's great. They made the density of both of these ends amazing. Okay, the eyes are done. You may take the dense end. I go just a little bit of pup and put it under here. And that's it. Just, they're kind of red. But let's go into, I'm going to get back to this brush because I have 2 more things that I want to do with it, but I want to show you some of the pencils. So the pencils, as I said in the beginning, the silks stay and don't move. The satins are blendable. So you can use them as eyeshadow and such, but I'm going to use the color Latte here as an eyeliner. As I said, I have fake eyelashes on. This will not transfer to my hood. This is a crayon, kind of like a crayon, okay? It does turn up and it turns down. And if you need to sharpen it, take a paper towel and put it around it and then turn it and kind of squeeze it and you'll get a pointy end. So I'm going to take this in here and I'm going to start kind of in the middle. These are super silky. They apply like a dream. I don't have any issue getting it too wide. You see it? I can't wing. I just can't. I keep trying to wing and the wing's a joke. Okay, so you can see it on that eye over this eye. Now I'm going to take it over here and put it on. If you guys don't have fake eyelashes on, which most of you don't, get it in your lash line. It's going to make your lashes look thicker. And then I like a really super light. This one's a silk, so it's not going to blend as easy. But you can take a brush like that. What is this one? This is the lash brush. This is the end point. Let's take that. Okay, you can do this if you want. And you can put it on that way if you really want to smudge it out. Or just take it like so. But I'm telling you, where you put it is where it's going to be. It's not, they don't claim it to be waterproof or anything like that. But if you're going to smudge it, you need to smudge it quickly, okay? The satins smudge really easy. The silks want to stay right where they're put. I don't wear mascara on my lower lash line, and I get asked, is it not okay to wear it? It's completely fine. I'm too lazy. I'm so lazy because I have fake lashes on that I don't put any on the bottom. Okay, that was, what color did I say it was? Was it Latte? That was Latte and it was a silk. Okay, over there. Now, let's bring out brightening, okay? I'm going to take this Pilot brush again. We're going to boop, okay, boop. We do need to clean it off because I just used it for eyeshadow. I'm just going to wipe it on the brush here, or towel. And then I'm going to take it into the fluff. Nope, I'm going to take it to the dense end, and I'm going to take it into my brightening shade, and we're going to reverse contour. What reverse contour to me is, when you do contour, you're creating a shadow for bone structure, and for lift, and for dimension. But when we put this brightening shade in strategic areas, we create lift. So to me, it's like reverse contouring, because I put it in more places than you would just for brightener. So I'm going to take a little bit of my brightening shade, not too much, and I'm going to take it from the corner of my eye straight up to the tail of my brow. Okay, I'm just going to leave them there. That's way too much. You don't want to use that much, but I just want you, for demonstration purposes, we've got that. Okay, don't put that much on. And then a little bit above the peak of your brow. Like so. You can put a little bit here as long as you don't have some strong 11s. You can go down the center of your nose. I can contour with one of those pencils on my nose too. And then I'm going to take the fluffy end and do the rest, okay? So this tapping area here, I can't brighten a whole lot, and I got a lot going on. I've got this deep area here, and I have a lot going on in there. So I'm really careful where I put my brightener. So I kind of start here on the side of my nose, and I just gently move it up and out. And this creates lift, and this is going to help a focus on my eyes. But I'm going to show you one more place that you can place it on your eye that I think helps. Flip this brush over, put a little bit of that brightener on, and put it right there in that corner of your eye. We'll blend all this in, okay? And then we're going to also take brightener, and here is where I go under my contour, like that. I'm going to chisel out my cheeks. I'm going to blend this all in, okay? This is kind of stark and crazy. And then I will kind of sweep a little bit here. Okay. And then I'm going to show you when I blend it. Oh, wait. I'm going to flip it over. Okay. It's like a drummer. Do you ever see them? They're like, whoa. And you're like, look what they just did. I'm going to tap a little bit on, and I'm going to go down into here, my tear trough, and a little bit here on top of my cheek. Tear trough, cheek. Okay. Disclaimer, that's too much makeup, but this is for demonstration purposes only. Now, I have this end, and I'm going to start blending it out, and I'm going to put a little bit into my temple. And the reason I put some into my temple is because my temples are sinking in. Can always use my finger to tap off excess, or you can use a wet sponge. We have a sponge, perfector sponge that you can use like so. We already did down my nose, and now I'm just going to start tapping this in. And on top of my cheek. Why would I put it on top of my cheek? I'm going to lift it up, okay? Why would I put it in an area that's concaved and sinking in? It lifts it out. Light lifts up. Not too much, and don't get it on your bag. If you have an eye bag, you have to keep that light out of that eye bag, or it'll make it be more pronounced. I darkened it, remember? We darkened the eye bag. Okay? Take your finger. Like I said, I had too much on, so I'm just going to take my finger and press it in. And then I'm going to take this. That's pretty much blended in pretty well. But what I do is if I feel like it's kind of, you know, a little bit too straight of a line, I'll just tap it off. Okay, then I like to, as a final thing here, I take a little bit of brightener, a little bit of my main shade, and I just carve out the rest of my cheekbone. And you're like, what are you talking about? Okay, so the apple of my cheeks, as I say, has fallen from the tree. So because of that, I kind of have to carve around and make sure everything's kind of muted and flowed in and the things are in the right place. So that's just what I do. And then if I get too much, I just add a little bit more blush. That's it. Okay, and then powder. Now watch, we're going to stick this all together. So easy. Okay, make sure you don't ruin your brush. Okay, and then I'm going to put it together, and then I'm going to flip this over again. And I'm going to go to my powder, which I have with my powder eyeshadows. I'm going to take this end. I'm going to use both. Okay, I'm going to use this pointed end, and I just lay it in there, and that is plenty. As a mature lady, you have to be really careful on how much you use on powder. This is Vanilla Dust. We have another powder that is called Feather Blotting. That's very pretty. Vanilla Dust works really well with my skin. I tend to get just a little oily in this area. So the Vanilla Dust does really well. Feather Blotting, though, is amazing, especially if you're going to have pictures taken, because it really blurs. It has silicone in it, dimethicone, and it really blurs the pores and all the things. So I'm going to flip this over and just tap it a little bit on my blush. Do you guys know that when I stop talking, I have to think about what I said to see if I said the right word? Because I oftentimes will get done and I'm like, why did I say blush? I meant bronzer, or you know what I mean? So if I ever make a mistake, just tell me. Okay, let me put this blinds down just a little bit. It's getting a little bit too light in here. Okay, so we have everything done, again, with one brush. Everything's on. I want to demonstrate lip color for you. I'm going to wipe off that blackberry. Remember I told you it does stain a little bit? It does. Just a little bit. See how my lips are a little bit pink? Yay, us. Hi, Banana White. What's going on? Hi. They have the Banana White. Go look them up. They have the best whitening system for your teeth, for sensitive teeth. It's so good. Okay, I'm going to take this and see what you can turn it up or down. And I'm linely line my lips. But I'm going to avoid the corners right here. And the reason is as mature wet ladies, if you look, you may not have noticed this. I don't want you to notice things that are happening to your skin for you to look down on yourself. But I do want you to be aware of them. Okay, we tend to do this. We frown. So when you line, I like to start over here and avoid the corner. And go up. See, that just gives a little bit of definition. Thank you. And then again, avoid the corner. Now you guys can't see it. I'm really wavy. I don't know what it is. So I have to be careful when I line, because otherwise it goes doing, and then I tend to, okay, this is a satin, I'm pretty sure. Nope, it's a silk, so this is going to stay. Okay, this again was a silk chai. And then I'm going to take the color Sugar Plum, which I'm afraid you guys are going to be afraid of. And I'm going to, because it's fluorescent-y looking, and I'm going to put it on to prove to you that you can wear it. Out of the corners, like so. So pretty. So pretty. Some other combinations that you guys might like: pepper and cocoa marrow. Pepper and anything, honestly. This one is dulce. I've been getting asked a lot. I don't like bright. I don't like dark. I want like a nude. So cocoa marrow is going to be really pretty. And this dulce is, I'll just, gorgeous. So you take dulce and stick plum. Hang on. Let me find it for you. Find plum pencil. And I think it is just so pretty. It's not plum like you would think. It's not the color of plum. Line it with that. Isn't that gorgeous? So line with plum and put dulce over it. And I think that is going to be a hit also. We've got so many good ones. Okay. I'm going to, a little bit of setting spray is something that you guys can use if you feel you need to set your makeup also. So anyway, we can go. I've been on here. I've taken enough of your time. So that number right now, I will put it in here in the description. You can text me, or you can, well, I'll tell you now. If you comment match me to this video, comment match me, I will send you a link and you can fill out a color match, or I will also send you the link to purchase so you can purchase any of these new things. All right. See you guys. Love you. Bye.